okay with it, or at least a mass population of people are okay with it, then yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah, I'd like to go visit Russia someday. Check it out.
Me?
But boy, oh boy, I wonder if they see UFOs or what they think of this information. I imagine Putin has looked at this Pentagon release, and if it's not one of his trinkets, he's wondering. Now, too, accordingly, there's something that's called the Grieda Treaty. And anybody out there, if you've got your laptop computer on, you got your search engine on your phone, whatever, look up Grieda Treaty. I always forget this. I'm going to do it right now because I always forget which president actually signed it, and it is his real signature. I always think it's Truman, but it's not Truman.
What is this treaty?
Let me pull it up, and then I'll actually read it because it's damn interesting. Let's see. They've changed what they call it these days. Let's see here. That's right. Eisenhower. Let's see. Pulling it up. Oh, let's see. On February 21st, 54, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed the Grieda Treaty, Greada Treaty, after a meeting supposedly with alien greys. And you can go on and read. There was actually, for a while, supposedly the actual treaty going around the internet. And that was supposed to have either been released or stolen. I'm going to see if I can find something else about it. Because I'd like to read the treaty. It's been a long time. That was like, the early internet days. One of the first opening conspiracy theories and thoughts on aliens that was really interesting because it actually does have Eisenhower's signature.
So is it actually a theory? Like, at that point, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's a fact that it happened.
Let's see. See if I can find it in a PDF format. Bingo. And how much time do we have left? Well, we're at 33 minutes. We get a total of 45 minutes, so we got about 12 minutes.
Awesome. Didn't even get to talk about my favorite fictional aliens.
Basically, it sets terms of what they can do to experiment on us, and it gives Eisenhower promises not to, drag them out of their hiding, put them through, dissecting them and all sorts of lab rat type of crapola. What I want to do is maybe what we'll do on the next episode, and I think we're going to retouch UFOs next episode because now I'm figuring out how to play all the information so you can hear it. We get better conversation out of it. But the Grieda Treaty is really interesting. I pulled it up right now. What to do is if you Google it, Grieda Treaty Eisenhower, then go to images on Google, and you'll see there's 100 different people that have it available.
I'm going to have to Google that immediately.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I can't blow it up real easy. Okay, here we go. Let's see. References made to random session.
So, Jimmy. Who's your favorite fictional alien?
Fictional aliens?
Yeah, fictional alien. Who's your favorite fictional alien?
Boy. Well, it really depends on the era. Like, Mork and Mindy. Mork is probably one of my most favorite. Mork for Mork.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah. That actually said loads about how we think and feel about the possibility of life on other planets. It was a great comedy. Mm-hmm. But also, I mean, it had a lot of philosophy to it.
I'm going to have to actually rewatch that. My favorite fictional alien is Alf.
Alf was another great one.
I don't care what anybody says. Alf was a great show, but it had one of the funniest TV movies or movies I have ever seen in my life. It was absolutely hysterical. And I do not understand how that show ever got canceled.
Oh, they had a lot of problems with the cast getting along. It wasn't lack of viewers. Yeah, it wasn't so much lack of viewers. Their cast, there's a cool documentary on Amazon, and they didn't like each other at all. None of them really got along.
Jesus.
But yeah, it was a great show.
Way to win own money.
So Dwight D. Eisenhower supposedly met with what they call the Greys, which is a certain type of alien. Supposedly lives underground, monitors us, or they got stranded here. There's probably 30 different stories that go along with the Greys, urban myths, legends,
whatever.
And also, too, supposedly, when we landed on the moon, there was a warning sent to Kennedy not to go back on the moon. And we haven't gone since, I think, before 77.
It's kind of insane.
I mean, you think about it, the only landing on the moon since we supposedly sent... Oh, there's another great conspiracy we can go over. Did we really land on the moon?
I mean, I've watched the whole there's no way the sunlight could be peering down on somebody like that from any place other than the moon thing. And I've watched the whole conspiracy theorists about how I think it was the moon landing was faked simply because the parts were in the wrong place and things of that nature. And I'm just like, Jesus.
Well, the odd thing is, the only landing on the moon since the United States was China, and China only sent a remote control car to the moon. Now, if you get the unedited pictures from China, they're damn interesting. You see a lot of things going on off the moon, going on in outer space. That's another great piece. I think what we did tonight was scratch the surface.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of great evidence out there. I haven't really looked at alien conspiracies in a long time. But boy, I was getting sick of discussing politics and, you got aliens like Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi.
Let us not forget Palpatine. Palpatine is a son of a bitch.
Oh, I think Palpatine's on the way out, though. Palpatine got a little too, I guess, kissy. His big line was, "Can I kiss you?" I guess he's now reported there's 6 women that have spoken against him, and there's accusations of forcefulness. Then there's the reporter who disagreed with him, and he threatened the guy and said, "I'll ruin your life."
Yep.
But you could always tell. His father got to be governor. His father was governor all back in the 80s, and that was because he took care of New York City. he got along with the organized families down there, and he, was also got along with all the Democrats. It's the reason Andrew and Mario were both able to become governors because they give special treatment to New York City. The 5 boroughs put together cannot be beat by the other 67 counties in New York State. It's an unfair, it's absolutely unfair. We end up, out of our taxes upstate, paying for their stadiums, their transportation issues. They said something like 47% of the taxes raised throughout New York State by New York State go straight to New York City. And
yet New York City is still so goddamn expensive.
Oh, yeah. It's, they're going to, that'll be a whole other show when we get back to politics. But yeah, Palpatine, for anybody who don't know, Kev started referencing Governor Andrew Cuomo as Palpatine, which is really a good comparison.
Honestly, ask me.
What I want to know someday is who is behind the scenes controlling Schumer, Biden, Harris, Pelosi, and the rest of the lefty crew. Because there's definitively a Palpatine behind them all. There is a dark emperor who is playing both sides. Being a Republican, there is tons of influence by this same influencer that I'm seeing on my own team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the $1 million question. Who is really running America? Maybe it's these aliens.
That doesn't care about anybody.
Well, I think it's funny, all the lies. He had to push out that stimulus, or the villagers were going to show up with forks. Have you noticed? Now, there's been no major threats or problems from any of the Republicans or what they call the neoconservatives. Have you noticed that they've barricaded the White House and the Pentagon in, along with Congress, with fences, those big sandbag stacks, automatic machine guns? They know that whatever they're going to do is even going to make the people that voted for them turn on them. I think in the end we're going to find out that presidential election was actually fraud. There was 1,400,000 votes that were found to be fraudulent that Pelosi refuses to allow the House of Representatives to look at, and Schumer refuses to let the Senate look at.
Interesting.
But that's another time. No, I'm wondering now.
Don't they have the man who developed the entire technology to make sure that this didn't happen wanting to look at this too?
Well, that's where the 1,400,000 votes came from, but they won't accept them in Congress. And I hate to say it, we're down to a minute. 1 minute left.
Damn shame.
I think next week we're going to go back to aliens more, because I really want to discuss, the premise of what do they think, if this really is aliens cruising around and screwing with us. It's like they've got Lamborghinis and we've got old hot rod cars, and they're all showing off what
old
they think
of cars. Come on, let's make a better reference than that. They've got Lamborghinis and we've got old school. Well, we got combustion engines. British bicycles. We got we got the 1700s British bicycle to their Ferrari.
And then what would be really great is if they follow any of our signals or the internet, what they think of the politics of planet Earth.
Oh my God. You know what you should look up? You should look up Icon. You would love that.
I'll have to check it out. But that's our show for tonight. I hate to say it, we got to wrap up. That is our show for tonight. I want to thank everybody listening for listening. Again, I'd like to thank our military and emergency response personnel, keeping us safe and healthy. You guys have a good night. I'm out and I'm gone.